start tomorrow buying a place in Qatar, both because I am
pay a high check
in Doha, yeah, and I'm doing that because I like the city. I think it's beautiful, but also to make the statement that I'm an American and a free man, and I'll be wherever I want to be.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Nissim Black Show. As you can see, I'm not in studio, but it's still a pleasure for me to be with all of you as I am away, actually here in New York. I'm actually on tour, so I'm going to be in multiple places. As of now, I'm right here, but it's always good to see you. So listen, Tucker Carlson, ladies and gentlemen, Tucker Carlson goes to Doha. I wanted to cover this. Unfortunately, because I was traveling, I wasn't able to get this out faster to you. But the guy is just a complete... He's a, you know, I don't want to name call, but I will. He's a creep. The guy just completely sits up here and acts as if nobody notices the major change that he's made in his career. Like he would sing a completely different tune until now. And we've seen and we've noticed this change. He's been called out by many people. And we're just supposed to act like, oh, yeah, no, I'm not getting any money from Qatar. You have to see some of this interview that he does in Doha, which I think is just absolutely ridiculous. If there is no other way of showing like a cover up, then this is a cover up. Let's go and respond to what everybody says. Now, go somewhere, Tucker. This is what I tell you. Go somewhere where you're going to get real tough questions, when you're going to get really scrutinized for the things that you're saying. Go into a hostile environment and then answer the question, because once you're under that type of pressure, then for sure we can at least conclude from that, you know, depending on how a person acts like in that type of situation, that is going to let us know where they really are, right? But you go into some, you know, scripted conversation that you have, and it doesn't even come off well. I don't buy almost anything that I hear inside of this interview. And another thing about Tucker, you have to see this tweet. Tucker has actually admitted to his alcohol problem. He's got an alcohol problem, okay? And I know some people may say was and whatever, and other people has flaws, but Tucker Carlson admits, he says here, that he has an off-the-rails alcohol. He's an off-the-rails alcoholic who almost lost his family. Looks like he's drinking again in Qatar. And you could definitely tell that he's been drinking in Qatar, unfortunately. Drinking up probably a little bit too much. I want you to see this clip. Before we get to the interview that he sat down in Doha with, you have to see this clip of how Tucker is, you know, where I come from. We used to say he's juiced. He's juiced.
I like it here. A lot. Yeah, I like it.
You have been...
By the way, I'm an American. I can go wherever I want and speak to anyone I want to because I'm a free man. That's the promise of my country. And some are seeking to change that and to put our population into mental bondage. And
what are we talking about here? What are we talking? Has this not been the guy ridiculing people, talking about Israel, they're lobbying, how much they're sending, you know, people going to Israel, going to visit, and I don't care. I don't ever have to, like, this is what we're really talking about here. Other people are putting people into bondage. The whole thing is, you can tell he's had a little bit too much to drink over here in a country where I didn't think alcohol was allowed.
I'm not participating in that.
And when you've questioned AIPAC and you've questioned things, are you facing a consequence and a backlash now day to day?
I have a right to say what I think. I'm an American citizen, period.
Yes, he could definitely say whatever it is that he wants, whether he's sober or not sober. You guys could judge this for yourself. I'm not really trying to throw shade on him like that in terms of this particular issue, but it looks like he's drinking. And I don't know if that's been the reason for him making these crazy, crazy decisions that he's been making over the last few years. But it's getting bad, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to hear what he says. He obviously sat down with the sheikh and the I don't know what it is, prime minister or whatever of Qatar, and had a cringe interview. We'll make it through this, you and I together, and then we'll talk about it.
Around Hamas, and the idea is that your country and you specifically are supporters of Hamas. Your terror financiers. And I'd like to just get right to the truth of that. So my understanding is Hamas is here in Doha because the United States and Israel asked you to host Hamas. Is that true? And if not, what is the truth about Hamas in Doha?
Well, thank you, Tucker. First of all, look, the starting of the relationship with Hamas and the communication was started back more than 10 years, 13 years ago, at the request of the United States. Even beyond that, like it was 19 years ago when they first participated in the election, and then when they moved their office back.
So we're talking 19 years ago. 19 years ago. So there's a few different things here, right? He didn't come out straight and say, oh, and Israel, whatever the case was. So they have this conversation or whatever the case is with the United States 19 years ago, right? So this is before we understood. Now, nobody's dumb, right? Nobody thought, Hamas will come in and be a peaceful organization, right? Now, fast forwarding to where we are today, did we also think that they would even have the capabilities to do what they did on October 7th? No, we did not. So it's a little bit, dishonest. Oh, so now I think, Israel, and like it was a week ago. This is 19 years ago that this happened. Now, nobody at the same time told these guys to keep hosting these guys of this barbaric, savage, terrorist organization, to keep hosting them. Yes, put them up in nice places as they're, become billionaires over this time. This is what they have been. Literally, the leaders of Hamas became billionaires during this time. And Qatar has been hosting them in their country. And that is what the United States, this is what they're trying to sell you on. That's what the United States and what Israel had in mind 19 years ago. This is what they've been trying to do.
Back in 2012 here, it was used only for the communication and to facilitate like ceasefire, facilitating aids to Gaza. Now, unfortunately, Qatar has been attacked for having them here. But when you look, at what's happening within the region, this region, when you look at its conflict, it has the parties of the conflict. Sometimes they are state actors, sometimes they are non-state actors. If you have no one speaking to those non-state actors, how we are going to resolve or to reach to a solution at the end of the day? And now we have seen that this communication has led to ceasefires, has led to the release of the hostages, has led to alleviating the suffering of the people over there.
Sounds very good. Sounds very good. But let's keep this in perspective. Qatar's had enough influence, as they are the host country of these Hamas leaders, right? They're living there. They had enough leverage. They had enough clout to be able to end this a long time ago. Those hostages could have been back home a long time ago. This got schlepped out. It got elongated, right? Even though they had the power and the ability to do that. Don't think for a second that they didn't. As if Hamas was not. Listen, what is there to negotiate? First off, don't negotiate with terrorists. They're barbaric. So this is what I'm saying already. There's a moral issue here. There's a moral issue that's extreme, as a matter of fact. It's a very extreme one. To think that somehow there was something to negotiate in the first place. There was nothing to negotiate. They should have given those hostages back immediately. Qatar could have had influence to get this done a long time. There's been a lot of bloodshed on both sides because they were busy negotiating. Negotiating what?
And unfortunately, there are like politicians who are trying to use this to score like short-term political gains to fuel their narratives, in order to using Qatar to blame another country for what's happening over there or for their wrong policies. All our aid and all our support and financing that went, and what they claimed that it went to Hamas, went to Gaza, went to the people, and it was under very transparent process that the United States is fully aware about. Israel is the one who's facilitating, and it's not one government, it was across governments.
Yeah, and the aid went to Hamas because they're still in power. And it's not just him. It's all of them. It's even the Israeli leader left these people in power. They had enough power. They hijacked the aid. That was all over the news, not as much as the mainstream media, for sure not on the left. They didn't cover any of this. All right, all these other biased places. But they were taking the aid, no doubt about it. They only strengthened themselves as the aid was being distributed. So to act and pretend like, oh, yes, they had some method to get directly to the people of Gaza, they did not. The aid was hijacked by Hamas.
Netanyahu, Bennett, we have dealt with all the agencies. Lapid was a prime minister at a certain point of time. Mossad, Shin Bet, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and the defense, all of them, they were involved in these aids and the delivery of those aids. So today, when they are claiming that this is the financing of.
That's not what they're talking about. That's not the financing they were talking about the aid. That was the financing of the. See, this is what I'm saying. This is deceptive. This is deception, ladies and gentlemen. As if this is the monies that we're talking about that was flowing to Hamas was about the aid. This is after the fact. We're talking about before it ever came to anything about any aid. They were funding these guys in housing.
Qatar to Hamas, it has no basis. It's just a way to spread disinformation about a country that doesn't do anything for them, but it's doing things that are against their policies. If you just go to Qatar records with in its engagement with the United States for the last 20 years or 30 years, Qatar has never went to the United States and encouraging them to bomb this country or to support this group or to that group. We've been always
well, you guys really are not in that many conflicts, quite honestly. I don't know, not directly at least. So to say that you have, it's not like Israel who is surrounded literally by enemies, and have been in such an asset, such a an awesome ally to the U.S., right? Who still doesn't ask the U.S. to participate in its wars. Only that which is in the benefit of the U.S.'s interest. So contrary to all the nonsense that people are spewing online all day long. However, even with that, he's like, oh, we're not the ones. It's a way right now to throw shade. And these guys have been not only actively funding Hamas, which does not mean only the terror organization. They've been supporting the Hamas propaganda that's been spreading all over the internet as well. Billions of dollars flowing in to social media influencers, right? And you have to see this. It's just unfortunate that this interview is a big cringe. There's more
dialogues with the United States about how we de-escalate the region, how we bring peace to the region. And this peace cannot happen without an engagement with everyone in the region.
So as you see over here, there's some type of like cover up here, right? What is the cover up? The cover up is to pretend and act like, the conversation of Qatari involvement in Hamas started like after October 7th, when really it didn't, right? Or that the conversation 19 years ago was that, yes, in the case of the event of a hostile conflict, we want you to host all of the leaders of Hamas in Qatar. That's what the United States and Israel agreed to. Yes, host them in your country, allow them to live there, right, in luxury. And as wars are going on, we will not be able to reach them because they'll be by you guys, and we'll use this as the ability to negotiate. Right? That's what the conversation was, and that's what really has been happening. So any notion or any idea or any thought even that this has something to do with just about humanitarian aid making it into Gaza is a complete joke. So I have another clip for you guys. I actually want to show you Tucker, with this, like I said, this interview was cringe, but even at the end, this is cringe. I have a clip actually came from Lower Loomer, shout out to Loomer, that where shows that, Tucker tries to smooth over. He obviously, at least I give him credit for going into these topics. He's trying to do it in a clever way, right? So just because, and we've showed this document before, I don't think I have it on me right this second because I'm on the road, but we have showed this document of Tucker being hired via a different service, but they were being hired. This company that does this service was being hired by Qatar, which in the end, the actual transfers of any funds would have came from this company and not Qatar directly, doesn't mean you didn't get money from Qatar, right? And all of this right now, everybody wants to act like it's speculative. I have a clip from actually a Qatari opposition leader. You have to see this. So stick around to the end because you have to see this. First, hear what Tucker says about Qatar. Now, you're about to hear, I'm forewarning you, probably the most American first, explanation of what to do with your funds if you believe in America first or America only, as Tucker acts like he does.
I've been personally, not to make it about me, but I have been criticized as being a tool of Qatar And I just want to say what you already know, which is I've never taken anything from your country and don't plan to. I am, however, tomorrow buying a place in Qatar, both because I am
pay a high check
in
not the cheap
Doha,
one.
yeah, and I'm
He's buying a place in Qatar, right? He's buying a place in Qatar. This is Mr. Tucker Carlson, American First, complaining about, Jews and being here and living in Israel, doing real estate in over here. Who's their loyalty to? And he's buying a place, ladies and gentlemen, in Qatar, one of our closest allies that we have.
doing that because I like the city. I think it's beautiful, but also to make the statement that I'm an American and a free man.
What does being an American and a free man have to do with you buying a place in Qatar? What does that have to do? How do those two things even go together? Now, I'm not saying it's a problem with owning places in a different country, but to be so, American first or whatever, he is contributing to the Qatari economy. That's what he's doing. And he's so concerned about ours, and nobody's concerned about ours. And he's got all these concerns about Israel, but he's contributing to the Qatari economy. I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
And I'll be wherever I want to be, which I think is important. But that does kind of leave us in a place where
I'm an American and I'll be wherever I want to be because I'm a free person and I'm American. I'm just let y'all chew on that.
I have not taken any money from Qatar. I have instead given money to Qatar. And I wonder if you feel that means I've bought you and you will now spew my propaganda.
Well, thank you. Just ask me whatever you want me to do for you, I will do it. But look, Tucker, unfortunately, as I told you, that there are a lot of players putting a lot of efforts to sabotage the relationship between Qatar and the United States and to try to demonize anyone who will come to this country. Our efforts, when we are lobbying or doing, our outreach in the United States, is to make sure that this relationship is safeguarded. And the relationship for us is mutually beneficial. We are not getting aid from United States. Instead, we are buying from United States. We are partnering with them. We are investing in the United States investing in Qatar.
And as if it's having no influence, right? And as this is happening, just keep in mind, think about this. Not only Tucker, only other influencers. There's a whole slew of influencers, particularly conservatives, that have been invited to Qatar. Rob Smith was one of them. I just seen another person. Actually, I seen who was talking about this. I seen Knowles. Michael Knowles was just talking about it. Just weird. All of a sudden, everybody's getting invites to go to Qatar. Why specifically conservatives? Why? Right? And it's a power of influence, guys, that these guys are having. This is what they want. And as this is happening, we're seeing that Islam is being spread even more. They're taking over more, and everybody's ignoring it. But now, all of a sudden, nobody's noticing that the anti-Israel propaganda is happening at the exact same time. As all of this is going on, all of a sudden, Qatar is rising, and Israel's being diminished in people's eyes. And it's as if Israel is the bad guy and Qatar is this most wonderful and awesome place. Keep watching, ladies and gentlemen. I guarantee you, and I hate to say I told you so, but if this continues, this will be the destruction of America. And we're already seeing that the conservative movement is taking a major blow because of these bad faith actors. This is horrible.
And this relationship has been always a two-way relationship. And we pay all these amounts for lobbying only to protect and to safeguard this relationship. If we were not being attacked and under a lot of disinformation campaign that's been unfortunately funded by other players who doesn't want to see a U.S.-Qatar relationship flourish, we would spend this money for better things,
Well, it's unfortunate because the truth of the matter is that, it's one of those things where you take the thing that you're doing and then instead of just owning up for it, what you start to do is you start to project it onto someone else. Somebody else is paying all of a sudden, for all this anti-Qatar messages when we know that it's precisely the other way around. I want you to see what the opposition leader against Hamas. I think this guy's actually been exiled out. And it's an unfortunate situation. His name is Khalid Hail. He's a Qatari businessman, and he was one of the most outspoken critics of the Qatar's ruling family, and he was known for exposing the regime, all of its corruption and its ties to extremist groups. He was the one that put it out there for all of us to know that these guys were, in fact, sponsoring terrorism. He now lives in exile. He's mostly in London, where he works with the Western governments and the media because he's trying to shine a light on Qatar's like political and financial operations, the things that they are doing to ultimately their goal is to take down the West. It's no doubt about it. I mean, it comes with the religion. But I want you guys to see this clip of him and see what he had to say on it.
Talk to me about someone like Tucker Carlson, who seems to have changed his tune entirely when it comes to Qatar. And look, I don't know what his arrangements are. I haven't seen any evidence of anything. But there has been a significant change of tune from him when it comes to his narrative and his coverage of Qatar.
There is an investigation is going on now by Khalid Al-Hel Institute. And there's, I can't say much about it, but I've been investigating this matter for a very long time, and it was a bit of a strange thing for me and for many others. But when you start linking things together, and the way he shifted, and the timeline, you will understand that Qatar has a big hand on it. And I definitely, I'm very certain, without the core evidence, let's say, but I'm certain.
And we make that very clear, absolutely, yes, speculation.
Yes, but I am certainly sure that they have a hand somehow on that. Because if there were no financial benefit for Tucker Carlson, there wouldn't be a big shift like you saw now. So the issue is, he's not only pro-Trump, but he was on the right camp.
And this is the amazing part, as he's going to continue. But when you really think about what he's saying, there's no benefit in the sense of there was really no gain, right? You talk about a guy who spent a good amount of his career speaking out against, radical Islam and all these other things like that. For him to make this alliance with Qatar, right? And to, what this naturally does is make Israel out to be the villain. So, because you can't be nuanced and say, listen, I respect both countries. It just almost never happens. Doesn't happen, right? But that transition of him doing that, Israel becomes the villain, Qatar becomes the. It's not like he became more like America first. Now, to some people's credit, who have also made Israel out to be a villain, they have at least didn't maintain this idea that now all of a sudden Qatar is like, this oasis of peace and everything else. They didn't make that distinction. They didn't go out and lose themselves in that way. So Tucker, to lean in to the Qatar thing so much and to become a propaganda, a mouthpiece for them, which he literally is doing, it seems very odd if you look at this on the timeline, him and others as well.
Qatar recently shifted a lot of people from the right camp to their own camp. And
from the right camp, he's talking about the conservative camp. Listen to him.
In the near future, we will see what exactly they've been doing. And I'm sure I can't say much, but there is certain things is happening that it will be revealed soon to the world. I'm very sure about that.
I look forward to all of that coming out. We've got to wrap up, but I want to ask you, is there a target on your head? Does the Qatari regime want to get rid of you entirely?
Definitely. They are defamating my character for many years. And they've been attacking me in different ways. In the Arab media, they say he's a pro-Israel puppet. He's a propaganda machine for Israel. For example, within Qatari people, this guy's a puppet for Saudi Arabia or the UAE. In the West, in America, they pay people to say, they are part of our regime, but say it indirectly. So to undermine him and to make people to fear to deal with them. So this is the way they do. But we know all these tactics. It's old story. It's nothing new. We will fight it.
And we see from this, it's just unfortunate how many people are being deceived. But he's saying, I hope this investigation comes out extremely soon, because all of us have seen it. The writing's on the walls. And really, honestly, it's clear for all of us. But, an amazing thing and awesome that, even shout out to Erin Molan. She's just been doing amazing work covering this. She has a certain sense of moral clarity that a lot of people don't have. So I'm so thankful for her and a lot of the guests, different things that she's been putting on. So I want to hear from all you guys. Let me know what you think about all of this. What do you think about that cringe interview? I hope you didn't watch all of it. I couldn't even watch all of it. It was complete cringe. It was set up. The whole entire thing was not real. And that's the thing that's been really going on with Tucker. It's like nothing he's been doing as of late seems authentic. Before he left Fox, everything, I was on the bandwagon. I was like so happy for him. We were excited. Many of us were, I'm sure. But we start to see like things just really start to slip, and everything he does almost, it just seems the most scripted thing in the world. And unfortunately, it's just watching them all drop like flies. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you leave a like and a comment, and that you subscribe. If you have not subscribed, subscribe, because the overwhelming majority of you, I think 70-80%, 70-something% of you have not subscribed in this cover, because you keep coming back. You might as well just sign up. Let's push this out. Let's spread only goodness, only good things by revealing and exposing all of these bad faith actors. And remember always to serve God or to live trying. I'm out. Thank you so much for watching. Please, again, make sure you like, subscribe, notification bell. And if you can, make sure that you pick up some merch. NissimBlack.store. Make sure you get yourself a cup, t-shirt, something, help and support this channel. Also, you can sign up for Glory Nation, which is my online community where we go deep into prayer and how to protect ourselves from being idiots. See you guys in the next video.